You're on Rise and Shine with Leah and DJ, and we're talking faith stories.
Stories of faith when God has stretched you. And I tell you, there's so many moments in my life where I've sort of gone, oh man, my faith is so weak and so pathetic. And then I realize God is so big and so great and he's come through for me. And I love hearing people's stories of faith. On the back of Visionathon, hearing so many different amazing stories of people's faith journeys. I'm wondering, Leah, do you have any that spring to mind in your life?
Oh my goodness, I've got so many. But I think one that I don't think I've ever actually shared is the story of, as you know, I work on the weekends.
Yes.
I have a second job. And how I got that job was actually while I was in uni.
Okay.
And I was studying natural medicine. And it's a bit of a long journey there. But I actually was one of the many people that got caught up in that Centrelink Robodebt.
Oh,
and
ouch.
Yeah, so that looked a very trying time. And I had a very large debt that came upon me a few years ago, and it was around that time that just absolutely shattered me.
Oh.
Absolutely shattered, because you're in uni. You're doing everything that you can just to survive.
Yeah, you got no money.
No money, none whatsoever. Very hard.
Yeah.
And then I'm lumped with this massive debt, which at that stage it was a clerical error.
Oh.
And one little mistake that had just completely changed the trajectory of my life, to the point where I had to get a job.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to pay this debt, so I had to drop out of uni actually. But the job that I happened to get was actually through my second job that I have now, which, as we know, I've kept that job as a way to pay off said debt, because anyway, through the whole slew of things that went on, it didn't get wiped.
Okay.
And and so, but I look back on that, and I finished paying off that debt last year, praise God.
Wow.
So that's gone. But I look back, and what was the most devastating thing that could happen to someone in their early 20s ended up being the biggest blessing of my life, because it's not only led me to my job here at Vision.
Wow.
Because, but it just grew my faith immensely, because I remember in that moment when I received that letter and saw this gigantic debt going, you owe this by this date, la, la, la. And it just floored me so much so. And I actually grieved.
Yeah.
Grieved.
It feels like someone's cut open your stomach and there's emptiness there. I know the feel. It's awful feeling. Just
awful. And it was like in that moment, in my total grief at 22, God was just there and was like, do you trust me with this? And it was like, well, I have no other choice, God. No other choice. I guess I have to. And I don't whether you see visions or anything like that, but in my spirit, I felt that there was to be this stretching, and it was trusting him with my finances, which was such a big thing for me at that stage when you don't have a lot.
No.
And so in that time, I'm so thankful and so incredibly blessed that God was there with me, and it grew my faith immensely in trusting him with that, which was a mistake, but has ended up being the biggest blessings of my life.
It's funny, we've touched on two of the deepest issues that affect people. I'm telling a story about faith, about my relationship with my wife, relationship, love. Huge. God really stretches you around those things. Money, finances, where you're going in your future, massive things. This is what God is interested in stretching our faith and bringing us closer to him. We want to hear your stories. Give us a call, 1-800-316-316 with your faith story. You can jump online at Vision Radio on Facebook or on Instagram. This is Natalie Grant. Who else on Vision?